Christopher Bell had a great run and a great finish, but the weekend didn't start that way, man. I mean, he was a highlight reel all weekend long. So let's take a look at his qualifying run. Here we're looking in car. Look at his head, Bobby. This thing is so rough. It gets out from under him, steps out in the high groove. He gets it back. He comes down off the bank. But man, this thing was rigid. Watching this thing on TV, if I'm qualifying this car, I'm coming in, Todd, and saying, put me 4 shocks on this thing and get this thing off of the bumps.
So NASCAR, as they look at this and try to limit these things, the lower you put this car, the less drag it's got on it, the more downforce it does. And the teams would have continued to go that way. So NASCAR went and put internal stops in the shocks to limit how far you can travel these cars. Well, these guys know the same thing, and they're doing that. They're probably sitting on 3 of the 4 shocks here as he's going into turn 3. It's bouncing like you wouldn't believe. Now, come race time, the crew chief's going to go back. He's going to take it back. He's going to put rounds in the springs. He's going to get off the internal shock stops, and he can make this thing where it drives better.
Yeah. So even though we do talk about so much about these cars, and I'm going to interject here, there are adjustments to make this ride better. You don't have to start the race the way you qualify.
You are not. You're allowed to do impound adjustments.
Perfect.
That's where they put the rounds in the springs. Got it off the shock stops. And if you look at it, let's look at the lap graph, position graph here. Christopher Bell starts dead last.
Yes.
And
been there.
Look at this. This is green flag. He comes forward in the first 40 laps to, I think, to top 10 into 8th position. That's just driving and passing cars. If you'll look at it, let's go to the video here. He's just wrapping around the bottom. That car is handling like you wouldn't believe. And for the car that wouldn't even make it into turn 3 qualifying, this is quite a change from where he was.
It's a total change because, as you say, he's wrapping it around the bottom. The car really has to stick here. It really has to drive here. It has to have that little bit of float to it when you get down here to roll through the center. So to see the drastic change from one day to the next day is huge. And let me tell you, he took advantage of it once he got where he could drive.
Adam Stevens did a great job with impound adjustments here to put this car in a place where it could be a factor at the end of the race.